Shut up, compressor. Okay, let's do a bit of detail painting on these pieces. So first up, let's get these straps on these tanks dealt with. For these, I'm going to use the ammo steel that's been such a good friend to us. Slap on some magnifiers so you can see a little bit better. These things are basically the first magnifiers I've ever found that actually allow me to maintain some depth perception, which I find super critical for actually doing this kind of work. Okay, so I've done a quick first pass with a bit of picking out some details and another aqua gloss acrylic wash, just like on the interior, to really pick out these various details. So just to bring it all home, parts fit nice and snug. Just like so. And this one really shows off the whole point of this this aqua gloss wash. Probably better than the interior does, I think, because you might actually be able to see this to an extent. Oh, come on, fit, you piece of junk. There we go. Excuse me while we have technical difficulties over here, 'cause I can't seem to get my shit together. So here you can see once it is together and your view up in there is pretty restricted, you get a nice bit of contrast with all the various framing and wiring in there. And then here's its sidekick. Now these also fit into the gear base pretty decently, or they fit into the engine nacelles pretty decently. It's just a matter of there's a little tiny nubbin in there that they sit in. You can see it right down there. And once you find that, all the word dropping in, there we go. So they just sit right in there like that. One fun thing is if you look down in there, there's these two, they look like locator pins behind this kind of firewall looking dingus. And I have no idea what they do. They don't seem to actually mount to anything. They're just there. So cool. Anyway, if we flip this over, that's the view you get of the gear bay from the underside. And so I think with this wash in there, a bit more detail on some of these metal parts, maybe pick out a wire or two in some different colors, black, white, etc., dark gray, white, you know. We will be pretty good to go, and then some weathering to grunge it up. Now, while I was doing all this, I encountered something that kind of obviates all the coolness of this pretty well thought out gear bay. So, shall we check it out? So, in the instruction sheet here, there's the gear bays. Here are the wings, and it had to install this F-35 piece and F-34 piece that basically play a role in helping to locate the cowl flaps and the engine and all that kind of goodness. Okay, seems pretty basic. There is just one problem. This outer one fits okay. I'm not going to say it fits great, but it fits okay. It's very, very snug. Just like so. And when it goes in, it takes a fair amount of force. And as you can see on the back, it's got these little... Well, shit, that one doesn't. What the fuck am I looking at? Oh, I gotcha. So what they really want you to do is install them in the lower nacelles first. So this one, you can see it's got this track here that it kind of follows, so you can keep everything aligned. Very cool. So that fits in there like that. It's very snug, which is a bit frustrating. Now, this one isn't just very snug. It's more like the plastic is literally too narrow to fit properly over this damn thing. So I can show y'all here just how tight this is. Like, I am pushing it down with all the force I can muster. You can see my thumbnail turning white there. And I cannot get it down as far as it needs to go. Which is a slight problem, right? And like... move out of the way, thinner. Come on. And like the act of just trying to... Dear God. Pry this loose is a huge pain. And honestly, at the moment, I'm pretty much at a complete loss as far as what to do about it, because for the life of me, I cannot figure out how to go about making this wider. I don't know. So my best idea at the moment is probably to cut it and then put a spacer in there. But before I do that, I think it might behoove me to drill a hole in the back of it so I have something to at least help with the alignment process. Now I get to play the game, where the fuck is the drill? Oh, there it is, okay. That was a fast game. No idea what kind of bit we've got on it right now. We're gonna need bigger than this, but this will get things started. Motherfucker. So, I am a giant dumbass. After all the time stressing about how to widen the opening of those stupid little F-34 and 35 pieces, I hit upon the brilliant idea of thinning the firewalls instead with a file. So I thin the firewalls and yoink, everything fits. Kinda-ish. You can see the fit of the wing is decent. The leading edge needs a little bit of help, but not that much. Now, there's still some kind of flashy bits in here that are a huge, huge pain in the ass to get to remove. So that'll be kind of next on the cleanup list. But then the wings all fit together nice and snug. Around here, here's the big old locking mechanism. Now, one thing that is kind of annoying the shit out of me is just the engineering of the way the nacelles go together. This one in particular, when all the parts sit and lock the way they're supposed to, the wing here is fine. But look at the line, look at the panel lining on the nacelle. Ugh. That, come on, really? And if you pull it forward, you mess up the wing alignment, and yeah. Fortunately, it's just on, it seems to just be on this interior face. If you look, this one seems okay. Out here, you got other shit in the way, so it's no big deal. And this one is fine too. So at least it's only the one nacelle. Still annoying. So, yeah, if you build this, first of all, my apologies. Second of all, when you get to these nacelles, get a file out and thin the shit out of those faces, and then you can fit these in all nice and snug. And let's see if they actually come apart, because I had to do some fighting with this earlier. There are also some, I'll show you here when I get it apart. If I get it apart. Okay, there's one. Ow! Stabbed myself with a fucking flap. Or flap actuator. So, anyway, you see right here, these big ass posts. And right in here we've got some corresponding big ass posts. Those lock the wing together really, really well. It's actually, I will forgive some of the more annoying I'll forgive some of the more annoying engineering issues with the nacelles for these, because these really do make the process of getting this wing together much easier. So, yeah. Oh, and I see that this guy hop, skipped, and jumped over to that side. Stay over here, please. Now, one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to glue these down, because I don't trust their centering. Not so much side to side. Side to side is good. It's up and down that's problematic. Because while they have these guides for the side to side, if it's a little bit off, up or down, that throws the cowl flaps and all that shit off too. So I'm just going to leave them unglued, because once they're kind of trapped in there, who cares? They're not going anywhere after that. So now I need to figure out how to get in here and clean up this bullshit, and probably do a little bit of priming inside some of these open areas so that they're not just gray plastic when you look through.